Something that's been a bit of a revelation to me over these last few weeks of my training has been the importance of learning to listen to your body, mainly with my running. I think it's relevant because it feels to me like we've really kind of like become socialized into the importance of tech as part of what we're doing, the importance of like monitoring every aspect of our pace, our heart rate, um, and I was certainly getting into that myself with the build up to the half marathon. While I was doing my running, I was thinking about the kind of pace I want to be doing actually in the marathon, how, and look at my watch, probably be looking at it every sort of like minute or so, at least, to see where my pace was at and keep on monitoring it and keep on checking it. 4 weeks ago or so, I started to do the thing where I picked up that I needed to be trying to pay attention to effort and running by effort rather than by what the tech was telling. And what that meant was that I was meant to pay attention to my breathing, pay attention to whether I was running so fast that I wouldn't be able to have a conversational pace. The idea being that these slower runs are what builds up the kind of, I don't know, muscle fibers or cardiovascular fitness or whatever it is that enables you to do the longer runs like a half marathon. And it was an adjustment for sure. It definitely took a bit of a time to get used to the idea that that was how I'd work it out. But actually, I'm really pleased because I've been able to do it. And I've built up the distance that I've been doing over the course of those 3-4 weeks, and that's been fine. But what I've been doing is making sure that I'm running in a way that means that my breathing is controlled. And it's weird because I get to the end of those runs and I always feel like I could do more. And I think that's what it's meant to feel like. But it's weird because, again, in my head, I've always been like, if you're training for fitness, then you should be getting to the end of it and you should feel kind of ruined, right? You should be really out of breath because that's the sign that you've actually been developing your body. So I had a moment this week, a run this week, where my GPS watch actually kind of like failed on me. And although I can't pretend I didn't have a minor panic to begin with, the fact that I'd had a few weeks of running by effort really meant that I could just accept that what I was doing was just going for a run, knowing that I had to keep it at a pace that I could manage, that I could pay attention to my breathing and be aware of my body. And what I'm hoping is that this is something that will transfer into my swimming. It's not there yet, for sure. I'm still at that stage where I feel like there's so many technical elements to my swimming that are problematic. I find it very hard not to be thinking about them. But I did manage to have a swim fairly recently where I could tell it wasn't necessarily very fast. I could tell it wasn't technically the best, but actually I felt quite relaxed while doing it. I was able to lean into that side of things and just go with that for most of the swim. So yeah, it's been developing in my running. We'll see how it actually plays out when I do the run in a few weeks' time. And I guess it'll be interesting to see whether a few months' time I'll be able to be saying the same thing about my swimming. I certainly hope so. Let's see. If you like that video and want to hear more about my story over the coming years, please make sure that you hit subscribe on the channel so that the videos will always appear in your feed.